What's going on YouTube? Cloverwell's here back with another Scarlet Violet video, and today we are hopping back into the rank ladder to showcase not one but two top cut day 2 Groudon teams that were used in the North America International Championships here. So normally when we do a battle video, we always do one team, right? But this case, I decided to combine two into one video because, again, two Groudon teams that did very well at NAIC, and I figured what better way to showcase both of them than to put them both in one video here. So this is the first one that we've got here. This is made by Azun Kuron, aka Brian Fournier. He was able to get 9-3 record here, ranked 54th out of 1,000 plus players at NAIC. So congrats to Brian, and they were gracious enough to make the rental available to the public there, and hence we are using it. So there's a lot of cool text that we've got here on this Groudon team. So first of all, it's paired with Miraidon, which is actually one of the hot things to do right now with Groudon, is just pair this thing with Miraidon. Sometimes you'll usually see something like, you know, maybe the Ice Rider or even Lunala, you know, just wide guard support for the Kyogre, Water Spout, or Origin Pulse, and then for the Calyrex Ice Rider, Glacial Lance, which makes sense. But in this case, Miraidon is the partner of choice, which is pretty cool with some of the combinations that they've got here. If you look at the Miraidon set, first of all, it's Assault Vest Miraidon, right? But it has Parabolic Charge, and there's some pretty good combos that you can do with this. First of all, again, we've used Parabolic Charge Miraidon before, especially after like Calm Mind usage. But the idea is that, you know, Parabolic hits both targets, and it also hits your own target, and then you get healing in addition to that, right? So it only just makes sense to make this Miraidon slow but yet bulkier, and then, you know, just rely on a little bit more defensive EVs where you can take those hits and then just recover all that damage back when you heal it over time with the Parabolic Charge. You can do that with Groudon because, again, Groudon is a ground type. You don't take any electric type damage, so you're going to get some pretty good synergy there, you know, if the Groudon is next to Miraidon. You also have Terra Ground Iron Bundle, which you can also do that too, right? You can go for stuff like Icy Wind and then Parabolic Charge, of course, if you want to do something like that, or just Icy Wind plus something, right? So that's also a possibility. And Iron Bundle is also like an underrated partner with Miraidon, especially because, you know, Timid, max speed Timid Iron Bundle is faster than a Flutter Mane by 1 point. Same thing with Chenpao there. So if the Flutter Mane has Icy Wind and you have Icy Wind and you both have a speed boost, you're obviously going to go first because you are 1 point faster than those Flutter Manes, right? So I have that synergy. And, you know, of course, like I said, the Terra Ground is also a very useful tool to have. What's also pretty cool with the Iron Bundle is the U-turn tech, right? So what you could do is reposition the board very easily, especially if they change terrain on your Miraidon. So what you could do is hard switch Miraidon. Let's say, you know, they have the Indeedee on the board. You could hard switch Miraidon. You could Volt Switch out, first of all. And then you turn the Iron Bundle as well into that Indeedee, right? And then just bring in Miraidon back on the same turn, right? And then you get your terrain advantage back. That's just like an example of something that you could do with the Iron Bundle, right? And then after that, you know, you've got Whimsicott here with typical Tailwind support, Encore Light Screen, but instead of the fairy coverage there, we've got Grass Knot here, which is actually relatively useful against something like a Kyogre or something like an Urshifu, for example, or some bulky water type, like even like a Terra Water Calyrex Ice Rider. You could even technically use that. You've got Terra Steel, so you can even live those ice attacks or those you know, Bleak Wind Storms from another Tornadus, or Hurricanes from like Iron Jugulis, or Acrobatics from a Roaring Moon. Terra Steel Whimsicott actually just makes sense. And then the Raging Bolt. How about Rising Voltage, right? We haven't seen that coverage move on Raging Bolt very often. Very rare to see that there. But we still got Draco Meteor. We still got Thunderclap. But instead of Thunderbolt, we have Rising Voltage, and if you don't know what that does, it'll double in damage, you know, in the electric terrain, which is very useful there. So in that point, it's stronger than Thunderbolt there, and now you can start picking up a lot more KOs that Thunderbolt would not be picking up, especially with Life Orb, Terra Electric in electric terrain. You could one-shot a lot of different things. I've even one-shot a Zamazenta off camera, right, with something like this, which is actually really, really funny when you think about it. All right, Farigiraf. Typical set there with Electric Seed, Foul Play, Roar, Helping Hand, Trick Room. Again, Roar, very useful, especially when you're partnered next to something like Raging Bolt there. What you could do is just, you know, click Draco Meteor and then roar yourself out. So this way you're not stuck there with your -2 debuff. Or you can, you know, roar something else out if you have to, but that's just like another one of those typical combinations that you can do with Farigiraf there. And you could also just do like, you know, Volt Switch, Trick Room with Farigiraf, switch out into either Groudon or Raging Bolt, and then now you are poised to sweep under Trick Room if they lead something like Tailwind support there. All right, so there's lots of different combinations that you could do with the squad. So super well-built team. So shout-outs to Brian yet again. So hopefully we can get some cool wins with this variation of Groudon. But before we even do that, I want to show you the other Groudon team that we're also featuring in today's video. This is the second Groudon team that we're featuring, and this is made by David Ochoa. He's one of our viewers in our Discord. So shout-outs to David for making day 2, 7-5 result there. And it's another Groudon variation with some similarities to Brian, right? You still got Miraidon, you still got Groudon, you've got Whimsicott, and you've got Farigiraf too. But look at the sets that these four are running as opposed to Brian's sets. So first of all, this is Specs Miraidon as opposed to AV, but the AV is actually on the Groudon this time, right? And we've got 2 ground moves, which is, you know, pretty good. You can play around Wide Guard. You've got Fire Punch over Heat Crash, and then you have the Crunch tech for your Lunalas and your Calyrex-Shadow Riders there. So pretty smart idea there from Groudon. And then the Whimsicott has the Fairy move back over the Grass Knot there. And then Farigiraf, you know, still has Foul Play, still has Trick Room. But look at that Psychic Fangs tech, okay, which is very useful against, you know, Grimmsnarl screens. And then Gravity, right? Because, you know, you hate missing with Groudon, of course. So if you're able in a position where you can just do Gravity into P-Blades, you can definitely go for it, of course. And then after that, you've got a couple of ideas. Here's where the two teams differ, right? You've got Volcarona and you've got Incineroar here. So Volcarona can actually be your win condition because you can always go for these endgames where you can Quiver Dance and be the sweeper on the team here, right? And it's a timid set where if you invest enough EVs, right? And actually it does have the enough EVs where after +1, you can outspeed the Calyrex-Shadow Rider, which is really nice, right? And then you can still be supported with the Rocky Helmet set with Rage Powder. So you can be that redirector if you have to, especially against like Zamazenta stuff. And then after that, you know, you still have Terra Grass Giga Drain, which is useful against water types or even like other ground types if you have to play against them. And then Fiery Dance, you know, 50% chance. You can definitely pick up KOs there if you can get a couple of boosts going, right? Of course, Incineroar here is just a good balance mod, helps you out in the Trick Room matchup with Farigiraf. You've got Fake Out, you've got Knockoff. You also have Taunt here with Parting Shot, so you have ways to weaken the opponent. And then after that, you can just reposition the board with Parting Shot, of course, and go from there, right? So you have 2 ways to reposition. You've got Volt Switch, you've got Parting Shot there. So, you know, just like Brian's team where you had U-Turn, you have Volt Switch as well. So, you know, there's some similarities with both squads here, right? They both have Light Screen on the Whimsicotts here. We still have the alternate form of Trick Room, you know, as opposed to Tailwind for speed control there. And Volcarona can technically outspeed everything if you can get, you know, 1 or 2 Quiver Dances up there, right? So both teams play a little bit differently. So hopefully I can do a good job of showing how both teams can play because of the tools that they have on their team. But this is why I really wanted to do this. I chose these 2 teams just because, again, there can be similarities with the Mons, but the sets, because they're different, will change the way how the team is played there. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's go into Rank Ladder, and let's actually showcase... let's showcase David's first, and then we'll showcase Brian's team. All right, we got Harry here. Oh, he's got a Hell team with Calyrex and Ninetales. Oh my goodness. That's definitely fun for Ladder. He's got Zamazenta with it too. Tell you what, though. Well, this is also a game where like Groudon could do something there. Now the question is it just Zam, Calyrex, Ninetales, and Incin? Is that what we're doing? Then you leave Urshifu and Rillaboom behind. So you're gonna give me the terrain? Is that what we're doing? Right? I could also do like Groudon Volk. That could be a play. How do you want to do this? Could do Whimsicott. This also looks intriguing. But like, Volk looks good against a lot of what he's got. You know what? I'm gonna just do this. How about Groudon Volcarona here? And then I'm gonna go with Miraidon, right? You know, I want my terrain advantage. I think Fake Out is like really important. Yeah, we'll do this. I don't think we need Whimsicott for a matchup like this. If I can get Volcarona going early, that'd be really, really good. Now, I know he's got Trick Room, but the idea is to, you know, boost its damage. And I've got Fake Out with Instant and the weather to boost its damage a little bit more. So we'll see how he decides to do this. Again, he might keep Ninetales in the back just to have control, right? Yeah, see, there's, okay, so there's the Rillaboom. Okay, I got Fire Punch Groudon locked and loaded, ready to go. If he really wants to go. You know, Glacial Lance is a thing. Okay. So, how do we want to do this? Because there's a few ways we can go about this. So I can go like Terra, Fire, and then just go Fire. Now, he does have Incineroar. That we know. That we actually we don't know if he has it. So what did I bring? I brought my own Incin and something there. Okay. I don't think we need to commit the Terra to Groudon just yet. What I can do is just go for Incin now, just to test the water, see if he's leftovers or whatnot, and I can still go for a Fiery Dance over onto this slot, just to pressure the Calyrex. Let's see. Right. So we'll go into Incin here. Alright, and let's see, are you clear? Okay, you are clear, Amulet. So you're not the leftovers Leech Seeds and Eggs. You still might be Leech Seed, right? Okay, he's gonna Terra. This could be Fire. If he's tearing the Calyrex, then he's gonna go on the offensive here with Glacial Lance. Ideally, yeah, it's Fire. Okay. So we force out that Terra. That's okay, because then Groudon can come in and hit you now with, you know, P-Blades. Goes ahead to Fake Out into the Incin. Alright. This probably is just a Graceful Lance. So here's the Fire. It's going to do some damage at least. You know, we do have the Sun. That's not too bad there. We can pressure the Rillaboom. Oh, we get a crit. That's why. Alright, and he goes for Trick Room. Okay, but that's okay because we got Fake Out. We can pressure the Rillaboom now. Ideally, you know, I can click Knockoff and whatnot. So he can only Terra one slot. And we pressure the Rillaboom at least a little bit later. Alright, I can Fake Out here just so he doesn't click Glacial Lance and still go for the Fiery Dance over here. So he can switch the Rillaboom ideally, right? Not let it die to Volcarona, but again, I do have the QD coming in. Alright, and then for Incin, we do have to get off a knockoff at some point. There's the Protect. So that's 2 turns gone from Trick Room, which is okay for us. Rillaboom has Protect! Since when do you see that? So where's the AV? No AV, I guess. Wow! Protect on Rillaboom. That's crazy. Okay. Now we got something. Alright, well, now... That's not what I thought would happen. I gotta be honest. That's not what I thought was gonna happen. Okay, I still want to click Knockoff here. Alright, so just so I can Parting Shot it later. Listen, if I live, great. Otherwise, yeah, that's quite interesting. I don't know if you want to go into Zamazenta. But let's see what happens here. You gotta have something else in the back. Alright, you're thinking about it. You saw the Fiery Dance go in there, but, you know, you can take one. Zom can take one. Okay, it's not like it's chopped liver. And you are the clear amulet set. Yeah, see, there's the withdrawal there. Okay. Alright, let's just see what this is. I don't even know if Volcarona can survive. Oh, it's the Ninetales. Okay. So there's the... So that means... Okay. So that means... Yeah, it's probably just... Alright. Wait a second. That was not what I expected. Okay. Well, we get a knockoff here. That's cool. There's the amulet. And here is the Fiery Dance. Alright, we do some damage into the Ninetales there. We get a special attack boost. Not really going to matter a whole lot, though. Okay. And he did just let me hit the Ninetales a little bit. Okay, so that means... Hold on, let me check something here. So, you've got Ninetales, you got Rillaboom. We haven't seen the last Mon then. It's probably just Zamazenta, right? So I'm just gonna Parting Shot, right? Parting Shot you. High Horsepower came out. Listen, I still... How many turns of Trick Room, actually? Still 2 turns. I don't have Protect. Parting Shot, ideally here. And maybe... just click Fiery Dance again. You know, one or the other. Alright, High Horsepower. Going into it, that's not going to kill. I'm very surprised we're not seeing any Glacial Lance here, but... we're going to Parting Shot that. And we're slower than the Ninetales, right? So we should just... that's just a free kill. Okay. We went for the High Horsepower. And we still have Terra available to us, right? So we can have Control now. Because we can go back into Groudon. We can go back into Incin also. Right? Yeah, let's go into Groudon here. Okay. And then we can bluff the Groudon switch. We can always go back into Incin, right? Yeah, we just pick up the Volcarona here. Okay. So one more turn. And what we can do is, you know, we can go into Incin and intimidate the Calyrex again. Trick Room will be over because then you'll only have like a turn left. And Volcarona is still getting like good recovery here. Alright, so this is not bad at all. Alright, it goes into Rillaboom now, but you can only fake out one slot here. And I think now is the time where we can just Terra, go for the High Horsepower here. Actually, hold on, let me just make sure our Trick Room turn. So this is the last turn here. So what I could do is I kind of want to just go into Incin, right? And then just go ham with the Volk, because the Volk is +1 technically, right? I kind of want to just High Horsepower this slot. You can only fake out one. And just Fiery Dance you and have Terrain Control with Miraidon later. Because now I resist the Glacial Lance, I resist the Grassy Glide. He's forced to go for High Horsepower, which again is not really gonna do a whole lot, especially if it's non-stab and -1. We've got Incin in the back waiting. We could have even brought it in right now. He goes for Fake Out into Volk. That did a little bit more than I thought. There's the Rocky Helmet chip. Alright, I would love a burn if you can give me the burn. Here's the Glacial Lance. Can Volcarona take one? Volcarona takes one. Yes, sir. Here's the High Horsepower. And there goes the Calyrex. Good job, Groudon. You did something. And because, you know, and now we picked up 2. So now the Rillaboom, we can have Terrain Control if we want. We can pivot Incineroar for as many times as we need. You know, but Volk is looking pretty healthy at the moment. And we have Rage Powder too, right? So that's also like the real benefit here is we have Rage Powder and we can Fire Punch the Rillaboom. It's got Zamazenta here, but not really going to matter a whole lot. So honestly, I just want to do this and I'm just going to Rage Powder here. This is going to be funny here. We get to click Fire Punch with Groudon. God. Alright, there's the Rage Powder. Alright, I would love a burn onto the Zamazenta here. Yeah, there's the Body Press. Alright, does go down, but he'll take some... He gets the crit. Okay, Rocky Helmet Chip. Would love the burn. That would be the icing on the cake here. If you can give me the burn here. Alright, doesn't look like I'm going to get... But I am going to get off a Fire Punch. Okay. Oh, that's so funny, bro. Oh, no. Alright, good job, Volcarona. Yep. So we get the Fire Punch on the Rillaboom, and now we get to go for Instant Intimidates. And we have Miraidon coming in at some point, but, you know, this is just always really, really good. Alright, here we go, Instant. So he can protect if he wants, but, you know, Groudon just doing Groudon things here. Does more. High Horsepower. Alright, Fire Punch. Terrifier. I do have the Sun. I guess this does more, right? And I have a chance to burn? Yeah, let's just do it like this. Yeah, I think he just forfeits the battle here at this point, yeah. Oh, he's gonna let me play. Okay, well, there you go. Fake Out there. Alright, here comes another Fire Punch. I can't believe I'm clicking Fire Punch in Regulation Eye, guys. Alright, here we go. Yeah, so even though he had Trick Room up, we were able to stall it out. I just wasn't able to break through after the knockoff and the pivot with the parting shot there. Just didn't do a whole lot of damage. And, you know, I can just do this again. You know, just secure it, high horsepower. You know, I can always go back into Miraidon here, pivot the Incin again. Just playing it safe here. He body presses, so be it. It's not a huge deal. Because Miraidon is going to be faster anyway. Next turn. Alright, and here we go. Yeah, there's the body press. That's a decent amount of chip damage there. But here is the Fire Punch. Again, I've clicked this 3 times now. Put that on your bingo list. Groudon clicking Fire Punch in this meta. And there it is. Alright, so good job, Volcarona. We also used Incin here. Right, Miraidon didn't need to come at all. We didn't even pivot it in to change terrain at all. And that's that. Good job, Harry. Alright, Mr. Mike Oxlong, he's got his own variant of Miraidon and Calyrex Ice Rider. Okay. So Groudon could be good. Positive matchup into Miraidon. And technically Incineroar. However, there is a Calyrex Ice Rider. Which we have our own Incineroar for. Okay. He's also got Tornadus there. So he's got his own Tailwind mode. Which isn't amazing. We have our Farigiraf, by the way. So honestly, like, we could do like Instant Farigiraf. We can Foul Play potentially as well. And just kind of stall him out a little bit. Right? That's just what I'm thinking there. Like, we can play a little bit supportive here. Like, we could do like Instant Miraidon. Or Instant Farigiraf. Volt switch into Incineroar, that kind of business. Yeah, let's just do this, right? We'll go here. And we'll bring in Groudon in the back. I think that's okay. We'll leave Volk behind this game. Volk also could have been great as well. But yeah. It's a little tricky there, but I definitely needed Incineroar and I needed my restricted tier. I think Farigiraf just helps me a little bit more just because I can click Foul Play, I can click and Trick Room as well, right? Just in case. So let's see how Mr. Mike Oxlong decides to lead this. Alright, it's going to be Miraidon Tornadus. Okay, that's fine by us. Okay. Because we have the Trick Room idea. Okay, and he's going to give me the... Well, I myself can give myself a boost there. Alright. There's our boost. I actually wasn't even paying attention for a second. I did not see... Okay. So, here's my thought process here. Okay, so I am timid 2. I'm 205. I can nuke something. He can Tailwind and Draco Meteor me. That would make me very, very sad. Or I can Volt Switch Trick Room and then get in Groudon, and then that would be very, very good. Right? So I can do that. Oh, it's so risky, right? But then I just get in Groudon, and then that would be like, okay. Potentially. So do I take that risk? I think I might have to, so that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to do that, and we're going to click the Trick Room button. Let's see if he clicks Tailwind and the Draco Meteor Nuke button. Alright. No, he doesn't do it, so he's just going to let me Volt Switch. Tornadus, nice knowing you. Wow, he just let me do that. Alright, can't click Tailwind if I was clicking Trick Room, right? Potentially. Alright, see ya. Let's see if he ended up clicking the Electric move, or if he went for the Draco Meteor move. Let's go into Groudon here. Now, technically, he might get the free switch into the Ice Rider, right? Just because I clicked Trick Room. So let's see. But this is also why I didn't want to Terra. Yeah, see, there's the Electro Drift. Alright, Farigiraf. Let's see if you... so we don't even get off the Trick Room. So that was his idea there. So I traded Farigiraf for Tornadus. So we traded support restricteds. Alright, but now, because he did that, he's locked into Electro Drift, and that means I can fake him out. And that means I can go into Incineroar here. Okay, and he also goes into Incineroar. Well then, so we both have very similar ideas. Now let me see some interaction here with the Incineroars. Alright, so looks like he has the faster Incineroar there. Right? However, I mean, if he fakes out Groudon, great. But then I can just fake out Miraidon potentially. Or he can go into Calyrex. I can do a whole lot there. But I don't want to take that much damage there. If he fakes out, or he can Parting Shot. How does he want to play this? I don't like my Groudon intimidated, that is for sure. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to click P-Blades. And honestly, I'm just going to Parting Shot the Miraidon here. You can also knock off. You can also fake out. Let's try this play. Let's see where he fakes out here. It's actually going to swap the Miraidon. So, whatever comes in, I could Parting Shot unless he... Oh, it's Urshifu. Wait a second. He did not bring the Calyrex. Okay, wow. Very interesting there. So he fakes out the Groudon. Alright. Well then, that's a free Parting Shot for me. And guess who gets to come in? It is, in fact, our Miraidon. And that's going to be really good against our... And our Miraidon is going to be pretty good against his Urshifu there. And we have the Sun, so Urshifu's not really going to do a whole lot of damage into Groudon there. So what I want to do is I want to get rid of the Incin now, just because. And therefore, the Urshifu will be trapped in front of my Miraidon. That is for sure. I have Dazzling Gleam Pressure, so I know exactly what he has now. So, honestly, I can still P-Blades, I can Fire Punch. I am intimidated, but I think this is all I need. Alright, and now we can just Electro Drift and get out of here. So let's see what he does. Alright, he actually just protects the Urshifu, but that's okay. I was never going for that thing. I want to trap that thing in. Alright, so here's the Electro Drift. I don't think this KOs. Let's see his investment. Okay, he didn't, so I really need Groudon to hit this P-Blades. Alright, it also would have been safer to click High Horsepower, but I wanted to get some chip damage on the Urshifu. Alright, and we miss. Good job, Groudon, doing what Groudon does best. Oh, there's the U-turn, so that confirms Assault Vest. Wow, I should have just clicked High Horsepower. Not amazing by any means. There's his own Miraidon, but that's okay, because... again, I have a Groudon there, so that didn't really work out there. So he did U-turn though, so not a Parting Shot play. So this is still gonna do like a lot. Like I can still click P-Blades. It's gonna do a lot to Miraidon. He can Terra that thing technically, and I will also Terra that as well. So honestly, I'm just gonna click High Horsepower just to do some chip damage there. What do I have in the back? It is my own Incineroar. I can do that too. Let's just Terra this thing. Let's just nuke with Draco. And let's see what he does with the Ursh here. Yeah, he's going to swap. So, again, he's not really getting damage on the board. We are. So, let's see. Here's Incineroar. Again, my Groudon is -2, but that's okay. I have my own Incin later, which can help against a Choice Specs Miraidon. Ideally, that's going to take some chip damage. Okay, we Terra this. So we'll take the Incin ideally, unless he goes for the Electric Nuke on me. Alright, yeah, of course he has to Terra as well. He has to respect the Groudon. Now, what I could have also done was like read the Incin swap in, wanting to intimidate me, right? And then we just kill the Incin for free. But he's Terra Electric there. Oh, wow. Precipice Blades would have been amazing here. Alright, but we'll take out the Incin here. Okay. And it depends on what he wants to do with this Miraidon there. Wow, the Terra Electric in front of a ground type is kind of crazy. Alright, but we'll see what he wants to do. It is a Draco there into the ground, but we are AV. Oh, he looks like he crit me. Was that it? That had to be a crit. I have an AV. Oh, wow, no crit? What the heck? And it still kills? Then what's the point of the AV? Wait a second. Which investment do I have here? 112. Wow, that still kills. I did not expect that. I thought with an AV I might be able to live. Alright, but I was wrong. Alright, well there's the Urshifu. That has Protect. We know that now. This makes it a little bit harder. Alright, but what we can do is fake out this slot. I am locked into Electro Drift. It did come with Protect. I think the Detect comes out here. Let's just deal some damage here. Let's see. Oh, he cancels the battle. Wait a second. Why? Why, Mike Oxlong? You could have played that out a little bit. I don't think it was over. We got Necrozma-Dusk main, and there is only one restricted there. This is like the other video where there's only one restricted here. Why are people doing this? Did they forget that you can use another one? I'm always quite baffled here. Anyway, let me just see your okay, 113. All right, very nice. So if he leads Instant, that's not amazing. However, there is we can nuke something, especially if he decides to go with the Suicune there. The problem is the Grimmsnarl, of course. So what I want to try and do, at the very least, let's see if he does bring in Incineroar there. If he goes with, because like if he's not clear Amulet, then we just straight up Intimidate. I would also just like to get a Fake Out on there, and then potentially like Parting Shot, and then we can go and Groudon there. It looks pretty good in the end game. I don't think I need Whimsicott there. It's either like Farigiraf or Volcarona. Let's go Volcarona for like endgame scenario stuff. Let's see. Okay, one restricted there. Very interesting. So the plan is if he decides to lead the Incin, we're going to nuke it. If he leads Grimmsnarl Incin, then also fake out a nuke. But if he leads something else, then we think a little bit more. So let's see. It might be Instant Necrozma-Dusk main for also. Okay, so it's Suicune, and it is the Grimmsnarl, which I thought would come in the lead here. So very simple. Okay, what he can do is he could either switch out the Grimmsnarl and then protect Suicune, which we can scout immediately. Otherwise, he can Terra Ghost the Grimmsnarl, right? But either way, I just want to straight up, nuke this thing. Okay, I just want to also check something here, because I haven't really gotten a chance to see this. Okay, we are 205. Okay, very interesting. Let's see. So we can fake out. All right, I think I will just do that. I'm gonna drift into this thing, make him switch, and just also fake out this thing. Let's see what happens. Do we force out the Terra Ghost, or maybe even the Terra Grass turn 1? Right? So we'll have to see. Suicune Grimmsnarl, relatively bulky lead, but we have more damage. And we also have Taunt on our side, which is also nice. We have to. Alright, so no. Alright, so there's the fake out. Okay, so no Covert Cloak there. And we just straight up nuke the Suicune there. Now, let's see if this is enough. What kind of investment do you have? Stab super effective with Terrain. Yes, if there was Tailwind coming out, it is not coming out anymore. So great turn for us. We get rid of that thing, which could have threatened Groudon in all honesty. Alright, now we have to see if Incin does come out here. Or if it is just Necrozma-Dusk main. If it's Dusk main, that's also good for us, because we have an Incineroar out on the field. We can also pivot it if we have to. Alright, what is this? Oh, it's Garganacl. Very interesting. Okay. We can nuke that. Okay, I kind of want to just like drift here and then just Parting Shot it. Yeah, just get rid of the Grimmsnarl. And then I also just want to straight up just knock off this thing. Just remove whatever item it potentially might have there. Like if he gets up a light screen, he gets up a light screen. It's not the worst thing in the world. Which means Necrozma's in the back there. Sulker could come out here. Yeah, there's the light screen. I expected that. This might not kill now, but we'll have to see. Alright, so there's the Electro Drift. I don't think it will. You know, it should get him to at least orange. Oh, it gets him to, wow, less than 1 HP there. Alright, Invisible Sash. Knockoff comes out. What are we removing? It is going... Oh, it's a Sash. Wait a second. Alright, there's the Sulkier. That's what I didn't want to see. Okay. Alright. So here's the thing. We can still, like, kill the Grimmsnarl, in all honesty, right? We can still also nuke this. He might just protect this slot. So I'm not, oh, sorry. I'm not totally, you know, because Groudon's going to do well against, you know, the Salt Cure monster and also the Necrozma, right? So I'm also fine with just, like, staying in. I still want to nuke something. He just might protect the other slot. And let me just Parting Shot anyway, just in case. Yeah, see, there's the protect, right? So my Parting Shot just doesn't go anywhere. So we'll still nuke the Grimmsnarl, potentially. Yeah, he gets up both Reflect and Light Screen, which I guess is good for him. Okay. Now, what I also want to do is I just want to, like, knock off the Clear Amulet so this way I can nuke him later. But we're probably going to have to try and get Miraidon out of here and preserve it later on. Alright, we do have a Volcarona, but not if we're going to be taking Salt Cures, right? Which also Incineroar doesn't want to do either. Alright, so this is probably the Duskmane here. Yes, it is. Alright, so not amazing, but we do have a Groudon that we can also throw out here, right? And we can do that now, and we can still go for the knockoff over here into the Duskmane. Again, we're trying to bait out the potential Terra here, but if it's a Clear Amulet, then we can just Parting Shot it next turn, ideally. I don't know what this Duskmane has besides, you know, potential Trick Room, Sunsteel Strike, maybe Wide Guard ideally, but probably the Garganacl has the Wide Guard, right, against Precipice Blades there, but we have the single target move as well. Alright, so this should first set the Terra. Yeah, there's the Terra. Alright, we'll have to see what this is. This could be water, this could be dragon, could be fire, could be a bunch of things there. It's actually Dark Terra. Okay, that's fine by us. Alright, so that means you don't get to Terra the Garganacl. There. Oh, he's got his own knockoff. Well, there goes our Assault Vest, but that doesn't matter because we're in front of physical attackers. That's okay. Alright, and we get to knock off something off here. Let's see what item that is. And it is... Oh, it's an Assault Vest. Okay, that's fine there. And he Salt Cures the instant. So now we confirm that it is not... you know, it's not like Clear Amulet and whatnot. So now we can start clicking other moves here. We gotta get rid of the Garganacl there, ideally. He might just go for, you know, Wide Guard here. Right, but I want to at least respect the Garganacl clicking protect, because if he's doing that, right, then I still want to at least Parting Shot this thing out of here, right? So he can only protect one slot. He protects that one. That's okay. I think I can still get off this Parting Shot here and weaken the Duskmane. I don't think he can remove the instant in one shot here unless he has something crazy like Earthquake. This Photon Geyser, we should be able to at least take... Yeah, we take one. But Groudon, again, has to suffer a little bit. But there's the Parting Shot. Okay. This is good news for us. Again, we still have Volcarona in the back that can somewhat win the 1v1 against the Duskmane there. Alright, and now we can go back into Miraidon. I don't want to, though, because, again, we have just one turn of terrain left. We can ideally just Volt Switch and then pivot out again. Right? That might have to be our play. We can also just go for, like, these Quiver Dances, but, you know, again, same thing. I can also Quiver Dance in front of these guys, but physical defense. How do I want to do this? Oh, we do have Giga Drain, so actually, maybe Volcarona is, in fact, the play. And then we can pivot out Incineroar in next turn and get Groudon out of here, potentially. Right? Yeah, because the terrain was wearing out here. So, I have a couple of turns of Sun. Yeah, he's got Reflect up as well, so, you know, It's not really a whole lot going for us here. So ideally, we can preserve the Groudon here. We go into Incin now, get more reduction, and we tear at this thing, and we go for the Quiver Dance now. I can also go for Giga Drain, but I think just going for this is going to be okay here. Alright, so Groudon, I suspect he tries to remove that slot with the Photon Geyser. Alright. I just want to weaken this Necrozma as much as we can. He hasn't revealed Swords Dance just yet. And again, I'm tearing the Volcarona just so that I don't die to the Sulkier. Alright. And we have Giga Drain. He's going to know that. He's going to try and protect, ideally. But the +1 is going to be very useful here, especially after all these Intimidates there. So Volcarona going for the Intimidates. We're naturally faster, which is good. Unless he goes for Trick Room, which is not going to be great. Alright, but let's see what he decides to do here. There's the Photon Geyser going into the Incineroar slot. That's good for us. And we're going for Sulkier into the Volcarona, as I thought he might do. Okay. Alright, this is fine. Alright, so we can fake out here. He might protect, but I don't think we care. And I can also just Fiery Dance over here just to do like a lot of damage. I can also... How many turns of Light Screen does he have left? So he still has a lot of turns of Light Screen. I can still fake out this slot here. And I probably just want to Quiver Dance again, because he's probably going to protect the other slot there. So in reality, what I want to do, let me read that. Let's just fake out this slot, and let's just go for another Quiver Dance, because I think he's just going to protect again. Oh, he didn't. All right, so we get that wrong, unfortunately. All right, Quiver Dance again. At least we stopped the Trick Room ideally, but where does he go with the Garganacl here? All right. Oh, it's actually just Stealth Rocks. Oh, I could have just removed it then. That's very interesting. Okay. So again, Sulkier taking its toll here. Alright, so now we'll just Parting Shot this. And we'll Giga Drain again. We'll force to protect here. Should be fine. Let's see. Yeah, now he protects, right? Of course. We could have also Giga Drained the other slot there, but we're keeping the Necrozma honest. We're just going to keep pivoting the Incin out, and then we'll get in our damage dealer. There's Knockoff again. Alright. But he's going into the Volcarona slot. Alright. Oh, and we get the burn. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, this Necrozma is not going to be doing any more damage. Alright. And there's the Rocky Helmet chip. There's the Parting Shot. Alright. There's the Parting Shot. Okay. And now we'll just punish him. Alright, so this is the benefit of Incineroar. Just doing this. Yeah, again, easy play. Would have just, you know, Giga Drained the slot that wasn't protecting. Alright. And then Miraidon just finishes the job here. Alright, we got our terrain back. Alright, Sunlight Phase, but that's okay. And then Necrozma not doing a whole lot here. Alright, and then again the chip damage there from Sulk here. Of course. Alright, so we have Dazzling Gleam. He does have Wide Guard. We have Electro Drift. This Necrozma is a very sad Necrozma. He's -3 and he's burned. Honestly, we just go all out here. We'll just try and do some damage. I think Dazzling Gleam should just be able to pick him up. He cooks Wide Guard, then that means no Protect. And then we just Giga Drain this over here. Okay, he tries, but doesn't succeed. So there we go. This should just wrap it up here. So here we go. Giga Drain. Give me all the juicy health back. Yes, sir. Thank you. All that recovery. And we get to clean up here with the single target D-Gleam. So all these burns and intimidates in reality just actually didn't matter. Oh, there we go. We get some damage there. Photon Geyser. This should tickle. Maybe 10 damage. Alright, 17 damage. Alright, Burn Chip. Alright, you would have to wonder what happened if he had another restricted here, but Yeah, Garganacl was a little bit annoying. That's to say the least. So were the screens there. But again, not much damage coming out from our opponent. We positioned a little bit better. Should wrap it up here. All right, well played from our opponent, but we had a little bit more tools available to us than he did. All right, so there it is. We'll put the rental up one more time here. So go ahead and give David's team a shot. So shout out to David again, 7-5 day 2 result at NAIC. Congratulations there. And you know, we got to use a lot of the team here, I guess except the Whimsicott, really, right? But you got to see the value of AV Groudon there. Volcarona was also very useful. Same thing with Incineroar, right? I think Incin is really good in a format where you just really need to weaken some things and reposition your board with Parting Shot. Fake Out Pressure is also relatively good. And Volcarona also, you get to see how good it is as a win con, and you know, both an offensive and a supportive set there. And Miraidon, Specs Miraidon just does Specs Miraidon things there, right? So the rental here, one more time there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to showcase Brian's team, and we'll show you the alternate Groudon there. That one went 9-3, so let's see how that one plays. Okay, we got Miraidon, Calyrex, Shadow Rider, Tailwind Hyper Offense. There is an Archaludon on that team. Okay. What was once a dominant staple back in the the non-restricted is now more of a supplementary role here. So, Groudon again looks interesting here. You know, just because of the favorable matchup into Miraidon and the Iron Hands there, as well as the Archaludon technically, right? And then of course Urshifu, you know, we can bring up the sun and it does less damage. The bundle also is intriguing here. I think we definitely are going to need some speed advantage here. So we got Whimsicott and the Farigiraf here. So we have a couple of ideas that we could do. Light Screen is also going to be very useful here. You know what? I'm just going to go Whimsicott. And let's go... Do I want Groudon here? I could. Or do I want actually just like... Oh, you know what? Let's go Bundle. And let's go Groudon here, and then, yeah, I think this is also pretty good, because then I can also pivot in the Miraidon on the Whimsicott slot, just in case there, but, yeah. I mean, it gets interesting if he brings the Archaludon. I don't know, would you really bring Archaludon into a Groudon matchup here? I'm not sure. Let's see. Tornadus Miraidon. Yeah, that's what I thought he might try. This is why I like the bundle in this league, just so that I can win the speed advantage here. And he's got two things weak to ice here, so he's not going to really like that. And he gives me terrain, right? So I definitely, you know, have the speed advantage on my side. And we're 252 with the Sash here. So honestly, what I could do is I can simply just Tailwind and try and win the war. And then I could even Light Screen next turn. Right, and then potentially... Ice Beam after that. Oh, yeah, that's right. We have U-turn here. I could even go like Terra Ground here in front of the Miraidon, just in case he wants to nuke me. So this could be pretty good. So let's try this. Let's see what he does here. I'm curious what the Tornadus decides to do here. It could just be straight up Tailwind here. He might have Taunt. You never know. All right, so we're just gonna Tailwind here now. I would imagine there's also a Tailwind from his side. Yes, there is. Now, where does he go with the Miraidon? It could be Volt Switch. But first, obviously, we're going to go first. Look at the camera view on this thing. All right, that's very good damage. That does more than 50 to the Tornadus. We get a speed drop there. Same thing with the Miraidon. So that means you're not Overcloak on the Tornadus there. There's the Volt Switch, right? But again, we have the Sash, so he's just going to pivot out of here. All right, but we've chipped the Miraidon a lot. Okay, if he goes into Calyrex, I mean, we have the speed. Okay, and what we can do now with the Tornadus is we can Encore that thing. This way it's going to be like relatively useless, and we could even potentially just kill it, right? So it depends what he decides to bring in here. It could be Iron Hands also. All right, we don't have a Fairy move here, so Iron Hands wouldn't be amazing either. But I also just want to remove the Tornadus with a potential Ice Beam here. Or if it is Calyrex... Alright, it's actually just going to be the Urshifu there. So this is where something like Speed Drive could be very useful here. But we do have the Grass Knot, right? So that's also like really good. And we could even he could just Aqua Jet, right? That's the other thing that we have to be aware of. So honestly, you might have to just go into Miraidon here, right? And then just soak up that Aqua Jet. Groudon's got leftovers too, so. And then if he goes for Bleak Wind, he could even miss. But I want to put pressure. We do have Grass Knot though. Let's just go Miraidon. Let's see how he decides to take this. Again, I anticipate the Aqua Jet coming in here. And we did click Grass Knot into the Urshifu there, so I don't know if that actually kills, but we'll see. It's stabbed, super effective. Yeah, see, there's the Aqua Jet. So Groudon could have ate that too, technically. Alright, but this was just in case of like potential Rain Dance. Oh, that doesn't do as much as I thought it would do. There's the Bleak Wind. Okay, so do we get any drops here? No, we don't. Okay, so that's also pretty good. Now, what I can do here, very important, is I can set up that light screen right now. Yeah, and then this way, you know, we have at least a couple of turns of screens afterwards. And then I don't want that Tornadus. Okay, if he has this, right? So it's probably a Calyrex, right? Do I need to light screen? You know what I want to do? I want to go into Groudon now, and then just, honestly, just give me the Parabolic Charge. Let's just do this. So Whimsicott, we'll switch out here. Let's go into Groudon, and let's see if this this combo actually pays off here. All right, so we're gonna go with the Drop there. Okay, there's the Terra. It's fine. Really, you're tearing these guys? Gonna do it for the Calyrex here. All right, so here's the Ursh. This might be Stellar. What is that? Is that Steel? Holy smokes. I've never seen... I don't think I've ever seen Steel Terra Urshifu, you know. So that's quite interesting. So here's the Parabolic Charge. That kills the Tornadus. Doesn't quite kill the Urshifu, unfortunately. But we are able to get some healing back. Right. So there's that. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Would have loved to pick up the Urshifu there. But at least we'll have the speed control later on, right? So there's the CC. I mean, that does a lot, but still fine. And he might just go into Calyrex. He might even go... Yeah, see, there's the Calyrex there. So, we do have an AV. We don't have the light screen up just yet. I don't know if we can take one. He's got one turn of Tailwind left. So I can still go for the P-Blades here. Technically speaking, right? It depends if this Calyrex... Hold on. Do you have a... You might be Sash. Alright, I think we do go. And then I can just straight up go with the bundle here. Save Miraidon, and then just go into Whimsicott afterwards, get the speed control back. So, yeah, I'm fine to give up the Iron Bundle in this case. Right, because I want the free switch into the Whimsicott so I can Tailwind next turn and win this Speed War. Right? So, this is okay by me. He might even just switch up the Urshifu here, potentially, right? Yeah, he's just going for the Jet. Yeah, we eat that. That's fine. Okay, there's the Astral. That's okay. Again, the important thing is to just kill the Urshifu here. Okay, Groudon lives. Barely. Alright, it was a bit of a risk, but it's a risk I was willing to take. So as long as we can hit the Calyrex and break Sash here, potentially. Oh, it's Life Orb, actually. Yeah, I should have known from that damage. So at the very least, this is good. Oh yeah, that's all I need. That's definitely all I need here. So we get rid of the Ursh here, which is good. We got rid of Tornadus. The Calyrex is stuck here. Alright, and now... a little bit of leftovers recovery, of course. We can protect next turn if we have to. But his Tailwind is gone, and so is ours. But again, now we can get the position back with the Whimsicott. We can Tailwind again. And Miraidon should have the advantage later on as well. Alright, and there's his Miraidon, of course. Right, so this is a very easy play. And he's already Terra'd once, so there's not a whole lot of risk here. Again, I can just simply P-Blades here, and I can still click Tailwind. and we should be okay, ideally. And it can only protect once here. We could have even read the protect, but I don't want to click Key Crash. I mean, there's no other single target ground move here. I have to go for this. I think this is just our best play because otherwise we're clicking a fire move into a not very effective mon there. So, yeah. Hopefully Miraidon in the back can just clean this up here because... so there's the Tailwind, of course. Alright, do we see a Protect come out from the Calyrex here? Let's try and stall it. No, he doesn't. Okay, we missed something. That's the one I wanted to... Okay, but this is fine too. Alright, because we removed the Calyrex. Okay, that's okay. Alright, and it is a Draco and a miss for a miss. Hey, it's only fair, right? Okay. Alright, that should just win us the game in all honesty. Because now we can click Light Screen and whatnot. If we have to. Yeah, and there's the terrain just disappears. So he's locked into Draco, right? So I can just P-Blades again and you know, I can just Light Screen. My own Miraidon is also like relatively low. I just also realized that. So Groudon's just really gonna have to clean up here. But I don't see another better play than this. Yeah, so there's the Light Screen. I could have also just protected just to like get a little longevity recovery, but yeah, I think this is just like okay. You know. Because he's locked into Draco, right? He can't even kill the Whimsicott even if he reads the Protect on the Groudon there, so... But in the end, it's still more or less the same thing in this case. Oh man, it's Mewtwo. Mewtwo Lunala, what is this? There's an Iron Jugulis there. Okay, speed advantage, Indeedee-F. Okay, this is where Iron Bundle and Miraidon are really useful, right? Just because of being able to pivot. Especially with U-Turn Iron Bundle. You know what? Like, U-Turn Iron Bundle actually looks kind of funny here. So does Foul Play on the Farigiraf. I gotta also say. You know he brings the... Do you bring Rhydon? That's my question. Is it simply Mewtwo, Lunala, Indeedee, Rhydon? Is that really what you're gonna do here? I don't know. I gotta be honest, like AV Miraidon actually looks like kind of pretty good here. Indeedee, like Light Screen just kind of goes crazy too, like with Whimsicott here. So I'm not gonna lie. Like I think they're just the same lead as the other game is looking okay. Like this and this, we could U-turn out, go into this. Yeah, I think just the same bunch. Like, I want to be able to try and get the Rising Voltage Raging Bolt in here, but I just think you know, with him having Tailwind again, I think I have to bring the Whimsicott here. And Light Screen is also really good. He's got two special attackers here. So, yeah, see, there's Indeedee Mewtwo. That's okay, right? I can click Light Screen. I'm, like, okay with this, per se. You know, he's obviously just going for Expanding Force here. But, you know, I can just change terrain immediately. I can... Yeah. So, in reality, he can just keep clicking forward. Like, I can click Light Screen here, and I can click U-turn. Which would be kind of funny, you know, when you think about it. But I think just swapping into Miraidon here is going to be good. And then just clicking Icy Wind, right? Just to get a speed advantage here. You know, I know he wants to click the Expanding Force button. I know that. But, you know, we do have the AV. We do have the option for Parabolic Charge, which is going to be useful again. And we get to remove the Indeedee terrain. Alright, speed is button. Mewtwo protects. Okay, he got a little scared. I don't know why he did that. Alright, so he doesn't want to just click the Expanding Force button. Alright, well, that makes interesting. A couple things interesting there. Alright, the question is, do you click Trick Room? You did! Wait a second. You know, I'm not max speed Miraidon. I will say that much. I am not max speed Miraidon. I'm just timid 132 there. In fact, I maybe my Miraidon actually outspeeds the Mewtwo. You never know. Anyway, I think Parabolic Charge looking pretty good here. I would love to U-turn, but I don't want to hit myself. I can just protect this turn technically, right? So I can just protect and then just go for Parabolic Charge here. There's the Indeedee swap. All right, what's taking the Parabolic Charge? All right, right? Ah, yeah, that's right. It is Rhydon. All right, so I think it's the 4 that I said. It's going to be Indeedee, Rhydon, Mewtwo, and then this thing. Okay. There's the Aura Sphere. Oh, that was going into that. All right, so this is where Groudon swap is looking pretty good here. All right, so there's the Parabolic Charge. All right, we're going to boost the Rhydon. All right, Rhydon's going to soak this up a little bit, right? There's the special attack boost. If only Rhydon had a special attack. Mewtwo gets chipped quite the bit there. All right, so I noticed that Mewtwo outsped my Miraidon. All right, Aura Sphere is going to hurt a little bit. All right, but he didn't expect this, right? And I can blow... I can't blow something. I could blow up the Mewtwo right now with Overheat, which would be kind of funny. Like, I got Terra Fire, Overheat, but, you know, there is a Rhydon sitting in front of me. So, I don't know if I want to do that just yet. But honestly, I can still do this. Like, because the Rhydon's going to go first. Right? I still want to go into Groudon here. Again, I will get some healing as, you know, if I can outbulk the Mewtwo here, which is, all right, there's the high horsepower. Oh, yeah, I forgot to Terra that thing. Oopsie, I forgot. All right, there's the Aura Sphere. That's okay, because now we can just do this. Yeah, see, there's the Life Orb chip. That might help me. This actually might help me KO. Yeah, I actually forgot that the Rhydon could just actually click the ground move instead of just Rock Slide there. So we do get to hit the Mewtwo, and we get to soak up a little bit, which is good news for us. Alright, Groudon stays intact more or less, and we do have leftovers here. So we can save Miraidon for later. Okay. Yeah, that was a interesting play. But anyway, it wouldn't matter because I am Terra Fire. I just realized, you know, I can't... There's no Terra Fairy in this thing. It is actually just Terra Fire, so high horsepower would have been quite interesting here. But we outbulked it. There's Lunala. Not amazing because, again... He might just double tap that slot. So I may give him the bundle here. Just because, you know, I did what I needed to do with this thing. I have a Sash. I do have P-Blades here, which would be really nice. Unless he just goes for Y-Guard and high horsepower, which is entirely possible. Right? Let's test that. Let's see if he actually does do that. If this is just simply Y-Guard and high horsepower. Alright, otherwise, you know, he's not taking advantage of the speed control that he has. Alright, so let's see. He's gonna Terra. I wonder what... Is this like Lunala or is this Rhydon? Is Rhydon gonna be this weird? Alright, it is Lunala. What are you scared of? It's Terra... What? It's Terra Fairy. What was that supposed to do? Is this Moonblast? Is this Terra Fairy Moonblast? There's the... Okay, there's the Y-Guard. So it's just... Are you just protecting Rhydon here? Is that all we're doing? Alright, there's the high horsepower, and I think he just missed. Okay. Well, that was a thing. Okay. White. Alright. Man, this is where Freesia would have been good. So I can't really hit him now, because I have Helping Hand, but I don't have a single target move. Well, actually, oh wait, hold on a second. Am I bugging here? Yeah, you are still a ground type, so honestly, we can still go for the Ice Beam here. We can keep him honest by, again, if he wants to keep doing that. Do you think he does it again? Do we think he does it again? Of course. He's doing it again. Alright, there's the helping hand. Do you wide guard again? Show me the second wide guard. There's the second wide guard. That's what we want to see. Alright, what are we doing with Rhydon here? Is this another high horse? Alright, there's... Oh, he's going for the flinch! Don't flinch me. Don't flinch me! Okay, good. Alright, there's the Ice Beam. Beautiful. See you later, Rhydon. Okay, that's good. I can't believe we're in a format where we have to worry about Rhydon. Alright, so Mewtwo's gone. Rhydon is gone. The Wide Guard Mon is all that's left here, along with something else. Dimensions is gone as well. Electricity is gone. We have the fastest thing, supposedly, right? Unless he's just gonna keep spamming Wide Guard here. Alright, and it's just Indeedee. Alright, well, he can click Expanding Force if he wants. Expanding Force is within the realm. I would love... Actually, you know what? This is actually going to be fun. I'm going to U-turn the heck out of here. And... yeah. This... Do you think Helping Hand U-turn picks up the Indeedee? That would be funny if it did. I have no idea if that actually picks up. I want to do that for research. But I think he just wants to click Trick Room, right? Like, follow me, Trick Room. Stuff like that. Yo. I actually just want to do that. Yo, we're doing it for the video, guys. The correct play is to click P-Blades here. Alright, well, let's see. He might click Wide Guard again, and then just straight up Trick Room. You never know. Okay? And so this was the correct play. You know, I could have also clicked Heat Crash there. I just want to see the damage for research. Okay, and I didn't do as much as I thought. Alright. So Rocky Helmet comes out. Okay. I can go Whimsicott here just because, right? And then I want to just set up Light Screen in front of him. All right, because I know Trick Room's coming out. All right, there's the Trick Room. That's okay. You know, we can potentially just Encore that. Yeah, we can just do that in reality, but I might lose the Miraidon in the process. So what's the play? I can Light Screen first. What is that? Oh, that's Steel Terra. Oh, that would be funny. Groudon is pretty slow, so I might actually be slower than that Lunala, depending on his stuff. So honestly, I'm just going to click Light Screen, and I'm just going to click Heat Crash here, and yeah. He's going for that Helping Hand. Looks like he's going for the E-Force there. I hope Groudon can actually live this. We have some Spidef investment, but this is where Light Screen's going to come in handy. Right? Maybe Terra Fire would have been also a good play. Oh, he's just going for single target Moongeist Beam. I might live this. Oh, he crit me, bro. No. No. What is the point of Light Screen if he's just going to crit me? Alright, well, that's unfortunate. Now I'm not really sure what to do. We have to kill you. That's the only way I'm going to be able to do any damage. How many turns of Trick Room are left? 3 turns. That's not great. Yeah, that was just unfortunate. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get this off. Yeah, he's just gonna do it again. Oh man. Yeah, now I lose. That was unfortunate. I thought we were in a pretty good spot. Groudon was pretty healthy there, but oh, we live! Yo, Miraidon's bulk is crazy. Wait, what? Okay, I need Parabolic Charge to like pick this up here. Hold on a second. Okay. Wait a second. Hold on. That did not do as much damage as I thought. Okay. We're actually okay. Because we're getting all this healing back. And we got Light Screen and the AV. Alright. So Light Screen AV was good. Alright. I was underestimating. I was overestimating the damage. Okay, but yeah. All right, now we're just chilling because now, you know, there's not really much else he can click. There's 2 more turns of Trick Room here. I guess just do this, and I can technically just nuke him now, right? Or I can just keep on getting a little bit more healing. Parabolic Charge or Electro Drift from here. Yeah, just charge up, right? Just do this. Oh, it's wait. Okay. I keep forgetting he could have this fairy move here. A little bit of damage. Okay. Okay. So guys, if you've got Terra, use it. That's really what it comes down to. Yeah, I think we're gonna use it now, right? Because we can't be dying to that. And we've already confirmed like he doesn't have the other play there. So I think we just go for Grass Knot here yet again, and now we can go for Terra Fire. And honestly, I think Electro Drift can just finish him off. That's just my take here. Battle was canceled, bro. All right. Parabolic Charge and AV wins us that game. I really thought he had me when he crit the Groudon there, but AV and Light Screen is busted with our bulk there. We have like just 116 EVs there though. Yo, we actually matched with Michael Jordan. He's playing Pokemon VGC, guys. Okay, he's got... Oh, alright. Yeah, see, Zamazenta Eternatus actually makes sense. Again, because Wide Guard for the Glacial Land stuff. And it's also going to help him against Precipice Blades. So unless we remove the Zamazenta, Groudon cannot hit the Eternatus there. So he's also got the other thing. The futuristic Cobalion. The Iron Crown. Yeah, but no Psychic Terrain there. He's going to rely... I guess he wants me to bring the terrain. So... Gosh, again, there's a Tornadus. Something like I want to say like Groudon being able to come in here, you know, just put on some pressure with Farigiraf is also pretty good here because again, I see the Iron Crown there. Maybe Miraidon Farigiraf, Volt Switch first, and then go into Groudon and click Trick Room. Maybe this. Yeah, and then just go into Bolt here. I think this would be alright. You know, I could have also used the Iron Bundle. That would have been a play. But, yeah, let's see how this goes. Let's see what you lead here with the... Alright, there's the Tornadus. That's what I thought you might lead. Okay. Again, just trying to lead some offense with my Whimsicott potentially, but this is where Farigiraf is going to be really helpful here. So, couple of plays here. We can just simply say Parabolic Charge, bring in Groudon. Alright, I can click Trick Room if I want. And then just get the heck out. And then bring in Groudon. Alright, so I think I will just do that. So here we go, Volt Switch. And I have another play. I could also... Oh, I don't have Draco Meteor. I was going to say like Draco Meteor and Roar myself out, but I don't have the Roar. Okay, so just do this and click Trick Room, right? I think. Yeah. What's wrong with this? It's going for Taunt against Farigiraf's Armor Tail. Like, we forget in Regulation I what this is supposed... Okay, he's faster. But I think we can live. We have an AV. Okay, we live. Not well, though. Not well. Well, we get a Tornadus kill. And we do get to click Trick Room. Alright, well... Groudon's gonna like this. Alright. So will Raging Bolt technically. I've got Draco Meteor for him. Alright, and then if he brings in Zamazenta, then we've got Groudon later on. So I think that's going to be the play. And then what does Farigiraf do? Farigiraf, we can just roar out. I can bring in the Groudon. Because then he just wide guards, right? Let's bring in Raging Bolt. Yeah, let's do this. Let's see what he's right. Yeah, there's the Trick Room. So, I have a few plays if he brings in... This is just so like... Yeah, see there... Ooh, there's a Mimikyu. Hello. Alright. Look, I can just Draco this thing right now. Force him to potentially switch out into Zom. He might flip the Trick Room. Yeah, I kind of want to just do that. So, honestly, I want to Rising Voltage this thing. I don't know why he's got a Mimikyu there, but I'm just going to break the Disguise. I think he switched out the... He's probably just going to either protect... We did see Dynamax Cannon. So, it doesn't look like it's the Cosmic Power set. Maybe it's a Dragon Fang set. I don't know. Who knows? But I can't let him flip this Trick Room on me. So, we're just going to do this. Break it. Alright, there's a Mimikyu. Alright. Doing what? I don't know. Alright, and there is our Rising Voltage. So now we have trapped this Eternatus in here. Alright, see you later, Mimikyu. That does a lot of damage. Alright, I don't know where we're going with this Dynamax Cannon, but... he's going somewhere with it. Let's see it. Oh, he's just going Recover. Huh. Alright, well... Alright. Oh, he didn't bring the zombie. He brought Urshifu, bro. Oh, he brought the dark one, bro. Okay. Listen, we can Draco now. I've got Thunderclap. Yeah, I mean, just foul play this thing. Wow, he didn't even bring Zamazenta. That's kind of crazy. Alright, I just want to break a Sash here. He's gonna Terra. He doesn't want to die. That's okay. So Groudon can clean things up here, potentially. Oh, what is this? Terra Dark. That... Does that kill Sucker Punch? He can't do that. Okay, yeah, he just has to click foul play. I just want to break Sash here. Potentially. Alright, there's the Draco. We connect. Alright, he Terra'd that thing. I don't know why, but... He just wants to punch things now. Ideally. If this is going into... Any of these monsters actually would have been like, okay, it's alright. Alright, there's the Wicked Blow, but where are we going into? Alright, and this is going in... Oh, that's perfect. He went into Farigiraf there, so that's fine. I mean... Look, we've got priority moves now, you know, we're just going to end him, right? So, yeah, we'll just go into Miraidon here. Okay, and we just click anything we want. Sash is broken. Again, Thunderclap him to Oblivion, and then after that, we just click the Electric Drift button, and that should do it. All right, here we go. Thunderclap, Raging Bolt. What's the star in this one? Oh, Urshifu actually lives there. All right, hold on a second. All right, Sucker. All right, Sucker Punch coming out here into the Miraidon. Yes, he picks up the KO, of course. But now we still win anyway. Right, and now he can't play around it because I'm going to click 200% moves here. Alright, and now we have boosted Raging Bolt damage there. I'm so... Okay, yeah, we just click Thunderclap. And we click Heat Crash. Actually, we don't even need to do that. We can just do Rising Voltage just for funsies, and I'm going to click Heat Crash. And that's it! Game's over. He clicks Detect, I don't know why. It doesn't matter what you click, I have a single target move. Alright, I think now he'll click the forfeit button once he just saw that Groudon had a single target move, right? So, I'll still do it. right? I don't even think he picks up from this range, right? There's the Sucker Punch. I don't think that's enough. All right, he went to the Bolt there. Yeah, not even. All right, there we go. Nicely done. I gotta say, I was impressed with the rising voltage damage there. That was pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. All right, GG's to our opponent there. Nicely done, man. So we got to use the Volt Switch Trick Room mode there, and then from there we kind of just ran away. Michael Jordan falls. So there's the rental for Brian's team one more time, and again, you know, there was a lot of cool ideas here, and the Miraidon with AV came in clutch, especially under light screen. That's what helped us against that Lunala match. You got to see the power rising voltage with Raging Bolt there. Even Whimsicott with Grass Knot was useful. You know, just Tailwind was very useful against a lot of different teams there. Iron Bundle, of course. You know, again, Icy Wind and Ice Beam, and we got to click U-Turn against the Indeedee, right? So that was pretty cool. Groudon there. Sometimes I wish I had a single target ground move there, but Helping Hand was also relatively useful when we needed it to be, right? And Leftovers is, you know, kind of useful just in terms of like passive recovery over time. Farigiraf also, you know, just again against that other match where we got to click Volt Switch plus Trick Room, go into Raging Bolt, and then just go from there, right? So yeah, we got to use everything, you know, from Brian's team there. So shout outs to Brian for making the rental available. And again, both Groudon teams from both Brian and David were super cool to use. So hopefully you guys have some good value and, you know, out of both of their squads as well. All right, but that's it for now, folks. We'll be back with another video in the next one. Peace out and have a good one.